It's time to pet your familiar, tie up your hair, and get ready to cook, because today we are making the dumplings from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. With the fall weather approaching, so does my desire to play Witcher 3, but also the desire to eat some of the offerings in-universe. So let's do just that. Now, considering that the author of the Witcher series and the developer of the games are Polish, I'm going to assume that these dumplings are meant to be pierogi, as opposed to gyoza or other Slavic dumplings. We're going to start making the filling for them first, and then work on the dough since the filling takes a while to cool. Let's peel our 1 pound of potatoes first. Keep a small bowl by your station so that you can deposit the peels in the bowl to keep your workstation clean. It makes cleanup so much easier and faster. Also ensure that there is a bowl with cold water set to the side so that the peeled potatoes don't oxidize while you're working with the rest. After they're all peeled, we can also cut them into manageable sized pieces to boil them. To boil them, just start them in cold, heavily salted water, and bring them to a boil until they're fork tender. Once they're tender, drain them and use either potato ricer or masher to combine them with the other filling ingredients. For the rest of the filling, set aside 1 cup of cottage cheese, or farmer's cheese, 6 tablespoons of butter cubed, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of pepper. We just need to mix these in with the mashed potato filling. Then lay the filling out on a sheet tray with a liner, spreading it thin and placing plastic wrap over the top so that the filling doesn't form a skin. And then place it in the fridge to cool before working on the dough, as well as making sure you hit the subscribe button if you like this video so far. For the dough, we need 750 grams of flour, 2 heaping tablespoons of sour cream, 1 egg, and ice water. We're going to begin this in a mixing bowl where we combine all of the ingredients. And then we can move it onto a work surface where we can continually add tablespoons of ice water until the dough is shaggy. And then we can knead it for 5 minutes or until it's smooth. We then are going to leave a damp towel over it and let it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes before rolling it out. Now for this, I would greatly suggest cutting the dough into 2 or 4 even pieces, keeping the rest off to the side under the towel, because we need to roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it will be a massive piece of dough otherwise. After it's all rolled out, we can then use a 3-inch circle cutter to get some of the pieces out of it. Set those off to the side, grab your filling, and it's time to stuff the dumplings. Filling is deceptively easy. We are going to take our little circle of dough, put some filling in the center, some water on the outside, and starting at the inside of the rim, just pinch our way around to seal, making slight indents, and set the finished ones aside on your tray. This recipe will yield about 52 total pierogi. You can easily freeze them at this stage, just make sure that they're not touching when you first freeze them, and then you can take them off the tray and put them in a plastic bag for later. Now, try to avoid making the same mistake here that I did. Make sure you boil the pierogi 10 at a time so that they have plenty of room, or you risk some of them falling apart later like mine did. We're going to cook them about 4 or 5 minutes, about 2 minutes until they float, and then extra 3 or 2, which depends on the next thing I'm going to say. Now, I went back and forth about finishing these in a butter sauce, since traditionally they're seared on one side, but in the Witcher universe they're all one color, and usually found naked and afraid in a drawer in a hut. In the end, I decided on the butter sauce, but you can absolutely use this recipe and sear them like the Polish would. For the recipe as I am making it, however, we're going to set some butter off in a pan to the side, then add some of the water that the pierogies are cooking in, simply swirling the two together until they're emulsified. If the sauce starts to break, just add in more water, and don't forget to salt it to taste. Then, simply drain your pierogi and add them into the pan, and you can see here that my overcrowding led some of them to break. No worries, because we have plenty extra in the freezer now. We are going to plate these up, add some pepper, and serve. Now, this is very clearly an old world recipe, so to speak, where it is very simple and hearty, but I was very happy with these, and if you've ever wanted ravioli and mashed potatoes at the same time, you found the dish for you. When I gave a plate to my husband, he sent me the Elmo and cocaine meme, so I think it's safe to say it was a hit. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and be sure to comment on what you'd like to see next. I'll see you next time.